Hello my friends, okay, time has come to actually take a look what's inside of this little guy. I was really interested, but at the same time I was patient to get the best moment to actually take it apart, and this moment has come. So let's take a look. So just a reminder, this is Blink camera, which is sort of kind of from Amazon, but it's not. It is from Blink, which is kind of supposed to be the same service, but it's not. You have to register a separate account, which is annoying, at least for me. Anyways, today we're gonna take this little guy apart and take a look what's inside, what kind of sensors, what kind of lens and things like that, what kind of processor runs this show. So looks like it's kind of, I don't really see obvious signs of the openings, so let's try. I know this kind of pulls apart, so we can just start from here, and there is a reset button right here, so we don't know how that interface is going to be connected to the rest of it. But the only thing, I see a gap around this perimeter, so maybe you can just squeeze it out like this, I don't know, or you can open this little lid. Maybe it's clipped around the perimeter over here, so let's give it a try. So I prepared a few of these guitar thingies I'm using, and I have some more tools here which are going to be helping me. So for this opening I'll try to use this sliding knives, opening tools, and I think I'm going to be poking around right here because it looks like, yes, it sort of comes apart. I hope it's not going to do too much of a destruction. But okay, this nicely goes in. It's top of the, gonna use plastic here, kind of squeeze it a little bit in order to, it doesn't go nicely on that side. Okay, sure thing, it works. I use also something, looks like this is separate, is it? Interesting. Looks like it's just, okay, sort of coming out. I think it's kind of coming out, so I'm pushing it this way. I don't know. Oh yeah, look, there is some progress here. Just not sure how to do it. Similar stuff on that side. I'll try to. Pry it gently. Don't damage it here too much. Okay. Ta-da! Aha! Very nice modular construction. I'm loving it already. Look at that. So this is a little speaker, and it just have two spring contacts which go over there, and that's it. And take a look at this. There's a whole bunch of contacts over here. Probably those are test contacts. There is also one unpopulated microchip. This is even more interesting. What's this for? Yeah, it's cool. Let me take plastic poker here. So those two contacts, J5, this is for the speaker. There is a like J13 over here. There is a J16, J15, and J18. There is a, and J17, J7. Wow. Very interesting. Curious what are all of those. Curious what they for. So looks like we have two screws over here, 1 and 2. This is probably gonna hold this chassis, and this sandwich of two boards looks like there's a second one over there. There is a little button over here, and there is a two little screws over here which are probably responsible for keeping the sensor. Not sure if we're gonna go as far as poking the sensor, but let's just unscrew. Let's remove all this stuff. It's not needed anymore. Go away. Just gonna keep those two in frame. Okay. Obviously those are just self-toppers. Two of them. Now we have a chance, I think we have a chance to it's not really coming out, and I don't want to press on the lens like this. I think this is I see a big connector, board to board interconnector here. I try to push this board somehow nicely out, like the interconnector here, and at the same time I don't want to push too hard, not to like pull. Okay, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'm wiggling it out. Yes, I did wiggle it out, and here we are. That's very nice. Okay, two more screws. Interesting, what's this for? So this board is supposed to contain like a whole bunch of infrared LEDs. This the topmost one, and everything is trying to fall out. Well, except that reset button doesn't let. All right. We're almost there. We are almost here or there. Looks like the front thing's falling apart as well, but opposite direction. Just try to kind of lightly. Doesn't let me. That's all. Here we are. Interesting. Now what is this? If this is infrared LED, it's the only one LED in here. So we have some parts are missing. So this seems to be a Wi-Fi board because it has this Wi-Fi antenna. This is looked to me as a Wi-Fi antenna. There is a big interconnect, board-to-board interconnect. On the board it says team E12339, whatever it means. Curious, what's this microcontroller over here, which obviously has no identification. There is nothing laser engraved on it, so it's just a blank. There's a resonator. Interesting jumper over here, which is not populated. It's probably some sort of maybe for external antenna, who knows, maybe. Yeah, and it's not canned, so this part is not canned. On opposite side we have two little LEDs, I think, which corresponds to two of those light pipes right here. Then we have unpopulated LED over here and LED over here. I assume this is infrared LED. Maybe, because I can't wrap my mind how it's supposed to be oriented. Oh, okay, if you actually pay attention to this thing, so this LED, one LED, D4, D2, and there is a little tiny hole over here. I was wrong, this is not resonator, this is actually microphone. Yeah, this is Mab's microphone over here, backside mounted, a little hole correspond this hole. Cool, this is very nice, very nice. So this LED potentially is infrared LED, but the funny thing is this is black plastic, so I assume it has the capability that this is not transparent at all, I must say, like not at all. So maybe it is transparent for infrared. That's the only my guess is. Also, but then another possibility, this is a... No, that's it. That's maybe this is transparent for infrared, so I don't know what to say, guys. Looks like there can be two of these sort of LEDs, D6 and D8, but they have only one. And it looks like there is no any special light detector, so they just use camera as a light detector. So that's all very simple as well. There is a whole bunch of unpopulated parts over here. I'm not sure if it's related to this missing another LED. Maybe. There is another micro U12 chip here, and what is this? I'm not really sure. Sorry, this is inductor, L23, this is inductor, and this is tiny probably voltage regulator. If they want to run this, probably infrared LED. Very interesting texture in this, if this is LED. I would like to take a look a little bit up close, because for me, I would say it doesn't look like LED. It's more look like some sort of light detector, but it's not. There's no window here, so I'm not sure how. Unless again, infrared would go through this plastic. I'm not sure what kind of plastic is this. Looks like completely opaque to me, but maybe not opaque for infrared, and I don't have anything to measure it. It says a Media Semi 1660 Wi-Fi revision C1. So this is the name of this board. This is pretty cool and nice to know. Completely different from the other cameras I disassembled. Alrighty, so here we are. This is the Media Semi 1660 main board, revision C1. So we have here the camera, obviously, the sensor. The camera module is soldered. This is the power for the camera, I think. RB, you know that stands for. And sensor is just soldered right on this board, and the lens assembly. Oh, this is probably the infrared shutter, so it has to have the shutter, and that's why it powered. So yeah, this is the power for the infrared shutter. There is some stuff here. It's probably part of the voltage regulation circuit, because it has an inductor and a little tiny regulator. Really impossible to make out any text on this regulator. There is also big can right here, and I'm very eager to take a look what's in the underneath, and it seems like I can try to pry it open. Yes, it's very easy. Yeah, back. I thought it's very easy, but turned out to be because of the close proximity to the camera, it's not that easy. Again, I don't want to rip any resistors, which are pretty close there. Okay, it's going. Oh, so I thought it's going. Wow, that's really snug there. All right, and we have something big. And it's really hard to make out what the text on it. And the text says AC. Well, when it's really hard to read the text, we just do this.
Done. AC100262FB or 2A2FB, whatever it is. It's some sort of microcontroller. We're gonna take a look what is that, and inside there is also one MK673, whatever that means as well. So that's not familiar. There is no any typical like signs which would tell us what kind of manufacturer is this. A little tiny chip over here. Again, this has some tags. We're gonna take a look what is that. On opposite side we have this guy, wind bond. Wind bond, that's probably a flash chip. This is a flash. There is something unpopulated here, whole bunch of unpopulated pods over here. Not sure what are they for. Two connectors right here. No. Weird. It feels like it's kind of unfinished. Nice inductors. Curious. What are those all things for? Well, maybe for flashing, maybe for for testing, for verifying and things like that. So here we are. It's pretty simplistic. It's actually quite a bit simpler than the other camera, like a Wise camera I reviewed some time ago, but still looks pretty neat. I really like the packaging, how it's done inside. Okay, so I did some digging and to figure out what's the main components of this Blink camera are. So let's start from probably the beefiest thing what I know here. So this little guy is Cypress single chip Wi-Fi. It's CYW43438. Apparently this is the beefiest thing what exists in this whole setup. And apparently it, or potentially it may just actually do all heavy lifting, because I think this little dude, which I thought is the brain of operation, is not, well, at least in my opinion, it is incapable of. So what this guy is AC 102B2FB or AC102B. So apparently this is a sent chip from China, some sort of microcontroller, which embedded microcontroller, which has 32-bit embedded microcontroller, 64 kilobyte of flash, and attention, 4 kilobyte of SRAM. So this thing is incapable of running video decoding or any other things, compression related to camera. I think it's just like a peripheral device which controls a bunch of things, like make a decision, for example, that they need to put infrared filter on and off, maybe make decisions that you have to lead some of these LEDs, you know, switching different modes and things like that. I do not believe this thing is capable, unless I'm totally mistaken, and whatever is over here, I can provide a screenshot, I guess, is a what I found, because not much information I could find about AC102B. Like, that's is all I got. So yeah, so over here we have MEMS microphone, and also it has the little hole over here. Sorry, where it is? Over here. No, I'm wrong. This is over here. This tiny hole is a microphone. Unfortunately, I cannot find much about it. The only text I have over here is S2278, and yeah, not much going on with S2278 as far as MEMS microphone goes. Yeah. So on this side, there is not much going on except two LEDs, one voltage regulator, maybe driver for those LEDs. And this guy, I'm not sure 100% if this is LED or this is actually infrared sensor. Yeah, here is the screen close-up, microscope close-up of this thing, and you can, you know, judge what it is. I never actually seen this sort of pattern inside, this sort of crystal inside the LED. Maybe this is how infrared LEDs look inside. Well, yeah, please help me to identify this thing, but for me it is not looks like LED, more look like a pure sensor or something to this extent. But yeah, well, I don't know. Okay, let's switch to this side. As I mentioned already, this AC 102B from Ascent chip. This is the dude microcontroller. We have few smaller jobbies over here, like this guy and those two guys over here, the tiny guys. Not much I can find about this. So this guy probably the most. Actually, I did find some more about this guy. This particular guy is text on it. It's 837C, and turned out to be this is DRV8837C. This is motor driver from Texas Instrument, you know. Yeah, and now I understand why, because those two wires going to solenoid over here of some sort, and actually they drive the shutter of the infrared filter. So I bet this is what it is. So this thing drives this thing, this solenoid or what motor. Maybe there is a tiny motor over here, because I actually pulled this out, speaking about, and this sealed unit over here, and there is a little infrared glass. So yeah, I couldn't really figure out how to operate it. Didn't poke around, but there is also the I want to see more information on the sensor. Not much I could see. Here's the close-up on it. You know, maybe you can see something interesting, but that's pretty uniform sensor, and even with magnification of 56 times on my microscope, I don't see much going on there. Board-to-board interconnect. Looks like this is power side over here. It has a few drivers, and that's pretty much it. And on this side, not much going on. Few drivers as well. Maybe this should be voltage regulator as well, because apparently this JAWS runs here at 3 volt logic. This guy is 3 volt SPI flash from Winbond. So yeah, this, and it has 32 megabit, which is awesome. Curious who actually uses it. Either this dude, where it is, this dude, or that dude, maybe. So this processor or that microcontroller. Not 100% sure, really hard to tell. Highly likely it's together with that Accent chip microcontroller. So now is a big question: who actually does the heavy lifting? Like this guy or that chip AC 102B? So I do not know. Like, judging for what I understand, that little AC is not capable. It's just like 32-bit microcontroller is fine, no big deal. But 64 kilobyte of flash and 4 kilobyte of RAM, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe unless it just cranks out frame by frame. I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, this is not as obvious scenario as I had in other cameras. The other cameras had dedicated microcontroller or microprocessor, which is quite powerful media microprocessor, which does the job. The only powerful thing here is this Wi-Fi chip, which is probably capable of doing it. You know, I don't know for sure. So yeah, there is a little bit part, like this is a little bit of a mystery of this particular camera, of this Blink camera. So maybe I can dig more and I figure out what's going on here, but this is it for now. Yeah, looks even simpler than Vicecam, for example. Inside, didn't turn down too many cameras, right? Just 2 of those, and yeah, a little bit mystery. So I would like to, actually I didn't even use it properly since I reopened it up, and probably I need to give it a shot a bit. If this thing gonna run after I disassemble it, I will check the quality, and I check, you know, stability, and I check other things. Probably hook it up to my Amazon Echo 5 and Show 5 and play with it a bit. Yeah, because I like to see what's inside. That's why I like to tear down those things. So anyways, this is pretty much it. I'm gonna put it all together and see what's going on. So thank you guys for watching. Hope that was interesting. For me, it was a really interesting journey to figure out what's inside. And guys, please like and subscribe. And if you wanna know more about this sort of tearing down of mainstream consumer electronics, and stay tuned and see you next time.